back for another GAC. We have a lot riding on this one because we went 0-3 last week, which means we're in a little bit of an easier bracket, but at the same time, if we keep losing, we run the risk of not coming out of this month on a positive note, that being having more wins than losses. So this is our current opponent for this match. His name is Ninja something. I don't know what that something is, so we're going to call him Ninja. Pretty sure that's actually his guild name, so that's going to be a little bit awkward. So that's who we're up against. And before we go ahead and look at what we did on offense and defense, let's go ahead and check out the overall stats. So like I said, this week, because we lost a bunch, we got shoved way down. I think we dropped like from rank 500-ish to 2,600 or something like that, something absurd. So we're up against this guy now. He actually only has a skill rating, or risk rating, I think is the proper term, of 61, which is significantly lower than our last opponent. It does also help that we do have an extra GL now, kinda. We have Lord Vader, but he only has 2 Zetas, so, and he doesn't have ult, so he's not super wildly useful, but it's better than not having him at all. So I think that's one of the reasons why the risk level is lower, and it's not just about our opponent, it's about us. So let's go ahead and look at the overall differences between us and our opponent. There was only a difference of 200 relic levels, which was the same as our last opponent, so that's pretty nice. Not 300, not 400, not 500, so always happy to see that. And it looks like we've moved back into the territory where we have the better mods again. So the last match, people either had better mods or about the same as good as ours. Not sure if that's great English, but we'll go with it. But this guy has significantly worse. Like, we have 100 more plus 15s. Like, that's a pretty big gap. We have, I think, what is that, 40? Yeah, 40 more plus 20s, and then over twice as many plus 25s that he has. So we have a good mod advantage. GC Omicrons, oh, this is bad. Don't do this. So he has 4, we have 5. Great, you know, he has Star Killer, we don't. Awesome. He has the wrong Star Killer Omicron. Not that this one is bad, but it's not the one that gives all the absurd bonuses that really end up making it a GL killer. So it's kind of meh, if we're being honest. It's kind of meh. So yeah, like this other opponent probably has the correct one. We'll call it. Yeah, there's much conflict. That's the one he won. Force Repulse is obviously the second most important. So I don't know what this guy was doing. If it was just the first one he saw and he went with it, that's not the one you want. So we do have more Omicrons than him. He does have all 6 Galactic Legends. We're not out of the ballpark for those players yet. I hope honestly we kind of never lead them, because if we start fighting like 4 or 3 GL opponents, then we drop pretty far. So I would not love to do that, but if it happens, it happens. Or maybe there's just a really good one that runs into us. So yeah, that's overall. He has a slight advantage, but we're starting to catch up with some of these accounts, and also, you know, falling behind also has its advantages. So going back to the actual board here, let's go ahead and take a look at what he placed on defense. Let's take a look at what I placed on defense. But I changed things up just a little bit, and I did kind of do this based on our opponent's strategy. So he goes really heavy offense, and quite frankly doesn't really know how to counter a lot of things without just throwing a GL against it. So we threw up some pretty good teams on the front wall. Gas, Darth Revan, you know, 370 with Talon. That Droidic is at 393 speed after his boost. And then this bad Lord Vader team. I don't think that he's just going to throw gas at the Lord Vader team, even though that would be a really good choice. Again, we're kind of judging this player. I think he was just going to end up throwing a GL at hopefully JMK. The idea there is that he throws away enough GLs that when he actually gets to the back wall, he doesn't have anything for this, and he legitimately just gets stuck. So I don't know if that's actually going to be the case, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Top wall's basically the same as last time. Really not that big of a deal. Nothing super game breaking or otherwise there. And then for fleets, we changed this dramatically up. We're moving away. Whenever we have an opponent that takes Executor on offense, we're doing this. I can't leave it on defense to be, you know, hit for 674 or whatever, and then full cleared every time. So we have Negotiator, Finalizer, and Executor on offense. So I'm looking to clear there. Really hope we do. And then maybe we just beat this guy in efficiency if JMK doesn't hold. His defense doesn't look too bad. We've got this team. We might throw Wampa against that. It doesn't look too great overall. And this is actually going to be kind of a pain in the butt. I wanted to do Wampa against this, but Dengar kind of ruins that. But yeah, this is going to be a really fast team. How fast are you? I guess Django's speed isn't the important one. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that math with the same Omicron there. So we're just going to assume it's really fast. Even if it's slow, it's fast. Star Killer with the wrong Omicron. GG Newt will eat that alive. And I don't like this either. If you want to put Dad Bod, Boba, and Fennekin with the BAM team, great, fine. They're scoundrels. They've got AoEs. That's cool. But don't take out BAM lead. Like, this team is now significantly worse. No offense, but also offense. Dad Bod, Boba. And then the top... this is going to be more challenging too, actually. Yeah, they've got CLS here. I have to see that. And then we'll be able to Iden this pretty easily. Probably Bad Batch this. I also hate this. No Jedi Anakin. Don't do this. Like, this Qui-Gon Jinn is so bad without Jedi Anakin. We can use so many things against this now. So all you have to do is just kill Qui-Gon Jinn and turn me to roll them with, you know, Empire or Troopers or Bad Batch or whatever, and it's just going to go straight down. And this team... I'm not going to do this, but I'm a little tempted to just throw SLKR and Watt against this. But we'll take the full team. We won't be stupid. We weren't stupid enough last week. So let's get to them battles. We need to get to these battles now. And there are some pretty good ones in here. So we start off doing Wampa versus Dash. We've done that before. And the start of this battle wasn't super great. We only got one counter out of the 3 hits, which we do have a lower counter chance before we get dots going. But still, like, that was not great. And we see this other thing happen again, where this seems to be less and less of a problem, where Dash consistently uses his AoE on the second turn rather than the first, which does make it a little awkward, because then you don't get a really great chance to dispel, because you want to have the protection up first. But it still works, so there might be more strategy in there if the team is more difficult. Like, that one wasn't really a super high gear, then you just do that. So we're going up against the Starkiller team, and this... We probably even misplayed this a little bit, but this team is just so bad. I need to make a video on this. There's just certain things you need to do with Starkiller, and giving his first Omni has to be the Conflict unique, because this is bad. This is really bad. Like, because he didn't give him the correct Omicron to start with, he didn't get the bonus speed, and my troopers just ran right over it. So yeah, and then we just tried to punch everyone else so we didn't get countered to death by Starkiller, and then, you know, easy 64 with troopers, which is not a trade you want to be making. So then we go ahead and take our bounty hunters versus this Dad Bod Boba team, and I gotta say, like, we've hated on him a lot, but we're gonna hate on him some more. Like, what is this? This character is so useless in GAC. He is so useless in GAC. Like, I was looking, if you're gonna do this team, that's actually kind of okay. But make sure you're using BAM lead. Like, I was looking at Dad Bod's lead, and oh my gosh, it does literally nothing. If they're not debuffed, and they don't have tenacity up, they literally have nothing from the lead at all. So, we use our normal process here. We have the Zamicron, and we have all of our turn meter clocked right so that we go first so we get the Annihilate. But I mean, this is so much worse. Like, if this was at least BAM lead, it would have dragged it out a little bit because they would have had more health, they would have had more protection, it definitely would have been sketchier. It probably still would have worked. That's what we've seen in the past. But yeah, this is just not great. Like, they got a total of 1 turn, and then we beat it for 65 banners with our undergeared team. So pretty cool. We taken CLS versus their bounty hunters. And this, I still don't know what the right move is. I don't know who I'm supposed to shoot first. Like, we contemplated Bosk, we contemplated Zam, we contemplated Django. Like, all of them had their positives and their negatives. I kind of don't think it matters, but there's got to be one that's subjectively better than the other. But this team in general was kind of a pain to figure out, because the way the turn order was, Bosk was essentially going to get his bonus turn no matter what, no matter who we shot, unless we shot him. And I was just trying to stop the burn with Django, but. So we got to the back wall, and he didn't have any Galactic Legends, so we decided, all right, let's take CLS up top. This team was entirely modded for crit damage, which, it's okay. But the way this team works is, especially CLS, he just wants a lot of offense because that's what you're giving to the rest of the team. So they just weren't, I mean, you have to have a really, really, really good CLS to stop a C solo. So he didn't, and that was pretty much the end of it. So we're able to get through this without having to use any ads, so that was really nice banners. We have a really, really nice efficiency match going here for us. So we linked the 2 Wookiees. That way we were constantly getting back a bunch of protection, and they couldn't crit us. That was really nice. Really easy there. And we go ahead and take in Bad Batch versus this, like, subpar Qui-Gon team. I do not like this Qui-Gon team at all. Pretty much just because they're not Jedi Anakin. pretty much swap out any character that isn't named Qui-Gon for General Anakin, and this would have been an actual threat. But without him in there, it's a joke. Like, they go down. Granted, again, Bad Batch would probably be this without General Anakin, but they just go down so easy, so wildly easy. So we got the buff immune on Mace so that he would stop using his pseudo taunt or whatever. And then after that, Cam just needs to die. Cam is the one that we want. So we cleared the foresight off of him, so A, he does less damage, but now we were able to stun him as well. So that was super cool. And then, yeah, Bad Batch just keep going. We get Cam out, so they lose a lot of their bonuses, because that hit from Barris probably would have done a little bit more damage had Cam still been alive with the bonuses that he gives to healers. We were able to get him out, and then we just kill Barris. So, pretty darn easy. We go ahead and take in our Iden versus Mon Mothma. We've done this a lot now. I think, no, not every battle, but I want to say like 9 out of the 10 battles we've done with Iden on offense so far have all been against Mon Mothma. It is just a freebie. It's a really nice freebie, and it's really, for those of you who don't have this team, it is really nice just to have a counter for Mon Mothma that doesn't take away from the rest of your team. Like, quite a few things beat Mon Mothma, but a lot of them are important. Like, Troopers beat Mon Mothma, but like, Troopers can almost always be used elsewhere, or General Grievous. Grievous also beats Mon Mothma pretty consistently. I want to use Grievous elsewhere, so like, this team, just get him up to gear 12, give Iden her Army, and have at it, because they just do so much work. It can even work at lower gear levels, but I've heard issues of timeout at lower levels. So we do try to focus the damage dealer there, being Kara and Kyle Katarn. Now that Kyle's dead, we were able to perma-kill Kara, so that was pretty cool. Luckily, the revive brought back Pow instead of Kyle, because if you have just like a lone Kyle or a lone Kara, it can get a little sketchy, because you don't have all the assists going and your healing and turn meter and all that stuff, and it's never ended poorly for us, but it gets a little bit scarier than I would like. Yep, got him out pretty easily. Then we go ahead and go against his Lord Vader with Maul, and if there were a match, and this wasn't it, but if there were a match where I was really trying to skimp on banners, I would try to do SLKR Watt versus this team, because as long as you time SLKR's ults correctly so that Maul can't unleash all 5 stacks on him, you can 2-man this pretty easily. But that being said, we didn't do that because we were smart. And we started actually this time, because there's no Thrawn to fracture to rip off Zombie's advantage, we actually started with the swipe. I've said other times I don't really like to do that, but this time I went ahead and went for it. And this battle, I think I actually had quite a few misplays too with Kylo's moves. Like, there was consistently like a better person to stun or a better person to swipe, and we were consistently not doing it. Like, I remember thinking about it, I'm like, oh, I really hope we don't time out, because we keep doing that. But for the most part, everything goes all right. Without the mega comp, yeah, like this moment, we totally should have swiped Royal Guard or Shore there. One of them that would have, given us double mastery, but we didn't. But yeah, without the super comp, without Thrawn, without Vader, there's really no risk of losing here. There's really not a lot you can do. Yeah, like there, I should have stunned as well, so that I could get more mastery on the other 2 ones, but we didn't, so it is what it is. Zombie has like 4 health bars. It's kind of funny as well. Vader keeps going there, swipe, 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 and Maul just dies from AoE damage, which is kind of expected. And I'm starting to get a little bit worried that, yeah, I should have swiped there as well, but I'm getting a little bit worried that we are going to end up timing out, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not really using Kylo's abilities 100% correctly. I keep misplaying on one or the other. Like that, yeah, that would have been great to swipe there, because Royal Guard was whatchamacallit. So Watt got killed, but luckily Lord Vader is in his ultimate, so he's not permadead. We don't get him back quite yet. Oh, and this is really, really cool. Something I want you guys to watch here. So before Lord Vader, he had a circle above his head for his mastery gain, and it's going to switch to a triangle now, because he's going to get negative mastery from this character. So you can actually see it change if you hold it in slow enough. So now you see this triangle above his head on the right. Oh, you can't see it now because he's got the retribution, but he loses mastery, and there's actually a visible marker for it. It's ridiculous. It's terrible game mechanics. So because even though we didn't play this perfectly, but because their Lord Vader is now dealing with like negative mastery, that's what the triangle above his head at that point means. And actually, you can just see he gained it back. It swapped back to the positive because he gained mastery on that hit. But yeah, so doing a lot of damage. And I think he's only R8. Yeah, he's only R8, so that does help a little bit. So we get that with, like, I don't want to say perfect banners because that wasn't perfect banners, but perfect banners for that counter. That's about as good as you can get. Full health on everyone and protection SLKR. And then we go ahead and take this team against Ray. So again, you only had 2 Galactic Legends on the field, so we were able to use a rather expensive JML team here. And we went with this one just because they have a lot of banner recovery, specifically with Huda as well. I really like Cam and Jedi Knight Luke just to, if possible, I've only been able to do it once or twice, but to kill Ray before she even gets into one ultimate. And we almost do it here. But yeah, so I like to have the armor shred on her. We go ahead and increase cooldowns in JTR because you can't increase cooldowns on Ray. Just try to go full force on Ray here. We get really, really close to killing her. She gets ult, so that's kind of a bummer. But so this, in the meantime, we just keep trying to use the lead ability to gain back protection, and so that we can get ult. Because my plan here is use the heal with Hoda, hit ult, drop the cooldown of that, and then use it again. And this is actually kind of cool. We kill Ray with the repulse, so bye-bye. So we got it for that one. And now our cooldowns are decreased. So now we have Hoda's special ability ready. And we pretty much get everyone back to full protection just by calling Hoda to assist. So that was a 65 banner win. It looks like I cut it a little bit short there. Then we have leftover Jedi, so he's got this Finn team. We almost did, we contemplated this for a minute, but we almost did like a dumb 3-man Empire team with my Gear 11 Mara. Decided that probably wasn't for the better. And then we end up holding Shock's heal here forever. For no real reason. Yeah, really, once Resistance here with Finn dies, there's not a lot that this team can do at all. He's really one of the reasons that it works, and we just go after the other Finn for fun, I guess. Yeah, just keep clearing the taunts here. Not a lot going on. I guess we'll kill Resistance Trooper because he, he's the damage dealer now, I guess. We have Tenacity up though, so I don't think he can get his exposes. Right, so he's dead. And then we just go after Poe here because he's squishier. But he's dead. And now I guess we're just trying to go by for perfect banners, but I think we already have them on everyone. Yeah, we do. So, an exciting battle. 65, easy. Then we go in and we take in our Jedi Anakin here, or yeah, Jedi Anakin, Qui-Gon team, and this Geo team was like mostly Gear 12. So I figured that most of them were gonna die in that first hit, and of course they did. I really like Mace on the squad. The Shatter Point is so nice, especially when you get to choose to call Jedi Anakin in. It's just fun. It's really, really fun. So there's Mace. All right, so we changed our fleet strategy up, like I was saying in the introduction here. So now we only have. We have Negotiator, we have Executor, and we have Finalizer. So it's perfect to take out all 3 of his fleet. He left the Empire team, he left Negotiator himself, and then his 3rd fleet was Rada. So this is, at this point, it's just a really easy home run. We use Negotiator here. Apparently, the AI for Empire is not that great. So we're able to take down Negotiator despite, their pretty good synergy against him. So we go ahead and do that, and then we have that leaves us Executor for Negotiator, and that leaves us Radis, who is it? No, yeah, Finalizer for Radis, and then we'll just leave him with a really, really, really high score, and that should just be the win. So yeah, this battle's going pretty good. They do get the Interceptor in there, and they cause a little bit of issues, but at the same time, we're almost able to one-shot him here. Get rid of the Foresight, and then he's dead. This team might have higher difficulties once that character is actually geared. We bring in Rex here for the protection regen, which actually does a really good job at. He gets a lot of protection back to a lot of characters. So, doing well here. And I kind of Shuttle has a lot of survivability. Supposedly, the ideal character, though, in the starting lineup is Rex and not Ahsoka like we did. So let me go ahead and bring in our Executor versus their Negotiator. Call it a day. And instead of doing that for a battle that would have been autoable, BlueStacks crashed. And because BlueStacks crashed, we were not able to clear ships. And because we could not clear ships, our opponent, who did 50 banners less than us in efficiency, won. And if you want to turn the stream off, or you want to turn the YouTube video off now, it's fine. You saw that we lost. Call it a day. Learned a little bit from the counters. It's cool. But I won't lie. I'm really salty about this. This sucks. Losing to a game crash. So last week I kept repeatedly saying that, that I was content and satisfied and happy that we were consistently losing to good players like Delmon or Angel or whoever we lost to last week. People who had put huge amounts of investment into the roster, people who knew a lot, who had a lot of skill, people who played very well. To lose to someone, he didn't drop any battles, but he left JMK, which because of how, oh, actually he did try to beat it. Oh, I didn't see that. He did try to beat it, but because of number one, fleets being restructured, and number two, us having a game crash versus negotiator, we're just gonna lose. So I feel cheated. I usually hate when people say this, so I guess I'm gonna hate myself. This was our win. Like this was 100% something we should have won, and we just couldn't, because after we burned Executor here, because it was a crash, it didn't even register anything. And then we tried to take and finalizer, can only kill Jonah Anakin, and then we just had scraps left. We just had scraps after that, because I only have 6 fleets, 3 of them were on defense, 3 of them were on offense, 1 of them failed, and that was game. So I'm upset. Not a lot I can do about it. I updated BlueStacks. I'm going to try to be more weary about this now, but that's... Yeah, I'm not going to sound like a broken record, but that sucks. Not happy about that at all. Not content, not satisfied, but it is what it is. We'll try our best next time, and hopefully that after trying our best and doing really stinking well and everything, we also don't have a game crash. Hashtag still salty. But thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And as always, stay awesome.